I remember the night vividly, the kind of night that feels like it could only exist in the pages of a coming-of-age novel, or maybe a sitcom that never quite made it past the pilot episode. It was the night of the big chemistry exam, and there I was, armed with nothing but a half-eaten bag of stale potato chips, a bottle of lukewarm soda, and a textbook that had seen better days, like the days when I actually opened it. My friends and I had decided to embark on this all-night study marathon, a noble quest for knowledge that quickly devolved into chaos, laughter, and a questionable amount of caffeinated beverages. We gathered at my friend Jake's house, the designated study headquarters, which was really just a glorified den of teenage procrastination. The living room was strewn with textbooks, highlighters, and enough snack wrappers to create a small landfill. It was like a war zone, but instead of soldiers, we had a ragtag team of sleep-deprived high schoolers, all armed with the latest in study technology, a smartphone with unlimited data, and a YouTube playlist dedicated to lo-fi beats. Who needs a study guide when you can have a soothing soundtrack of elevator music? As the clock ticked past midnight, we realized that we hadn't actually studied anything. Instead, we had spent the last hour debating the merits of various pizza toppings and whether pineapple belonged on pizza. Spoiler alert, it does not, according to the unanimous vote of 3 out of 4 sleep-deprived teenagers. I mean, who has time for chemistry when you can have a heated discussion about food? It was like a culinary summit, only instead of world leaders, we had a group of teenagers who couldn't even agree on what constitutes a proper breakfast. Around 2 a.m., the caffeine kicked in, and with it came the realization that we were in way over our heads. I looked at my friend Sarah, who was trying to make sense of the periodic table while simultaneously scrolling through TikTok. "Sarah, are you studying or just watching people dance?" I asked, half joking. She looked up wide-eyed and said, "Why not both?" That's when I knew we were doomed. We were like a bunch of squirrels trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, completely lost and slightly manic. By 3 a.m., the snacks had turned from a source of fuel to a source of regret. I took a long sip of my soda and immediately regretted it. My stomach felt like a science experiment gone wrong, bubbling and churning like a volatile chemical reaction. I glanced over at Jake, who was sprawled out on the couch, snoring loudly. His textbook was open on his chest, and I could practically hear the pages mocking him. "You think you can just sleep through this, huh?" I whispered, but he didn't hear me. He was probably dreaming about the periodic table, or maybe just dreaming about pizza. Who knows? As the sun began to rise, we made a last-ditch effort to cram. I flipped through my notes, hoping to absorb the information through sheer willpower. "Okay, what's the atomic number of carbon?" I asked, looking around for any semblance of a response. Silence. "Anyone? Bueller? Bueller?" I joked, but the only answer was the sound of crickets, literal crickets, because Jake had left the window open, and now we had an infestation. Finally, as dawn broke and the first rays of sunlight streamed through the window, we surrendered to our fate. We had learned nothing, but we had bonded over our shared misery. We stumbled into school that day, bleary-eyed and clutching our coffee cups like lifelines. As we sat down for the exam, I couldn't help but think that the real lesson of the night wasn't about chemistry at all. It was about friendship, resilience, and the undeniable truth that sometimes laughter is the best study aid.